The VAU Mic Check. Oh, okay, it didn't start live until after I said welcome. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the VAU Mic Check. Again, um, I'm Nathan, and let's have a round of introductions for anybody who hasn't been here before, and for anybody who might be watching.
Uh, okay, my name is Rahul. I'm from India actually.
I'm
David
Angel.
Rosso.
Sorry, David.
Now go
I'm
ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm Angel. I'm from the United States southeastern part.
My name is Steve. I'm from the North Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth area.
David Rosso, Colfax, California.
My name is Takia. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And today we're going to kick this off with a tagline. And yeah, taglines are small, but sometimes they can be challenging. More challenging than some people are willing to admit, but yeah, they have their moments. So who wants to go first with this?
May I try it first, just in case my connection goes south?
Go right ahead, Steve.
All right. Or Raul, if you want to try that first.
Okay. Checks. New morning. Sorry. Hello.
No, it's okay. You're good.
Okay.
The checks part is just the title.
So should I go? Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Checks. New morning mix from Checks. Breakfast to go.
That's a classic announcer read.
Really?
I think I'd like to hear it just in your normal voice instead of trying to be the announcer.
Okay.
I'd just like to hear you do a natural read of that. I think it would just sound better.
Okay, there is a subtle delay. There's a subtle delay that's coming from everywhere. Okay. Checks. New morning mix from Checks. Breakfast to go.
Yeah, I still heard the announcer.
I think my voice is coming out later than it should.
Okay, I could hear
I'm
you.
also hearing repetitions.
Yeah, it's the bandwidth.
Yeah.
One thing that'll help you is there's a button at the top of your thing that pops up, and it says adjust bandwidth usage. You can click on that and adjust it all the way down to audio only, and it should help your bandwidth.
Okay, I've adjusted it. Is it all right now? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you really good. Yeah, see, okay, when you're doing this spot now, normally they would give you a spec for what this script is all about, and basically say, well, what we want is sell it, but don't be salesy, that sort of thing. And so what Angel was saying is when you read this, do it in what we would call your signature voice, just as if you were conversing with me. Be conversational, and
Oh,
at the same time. And now, I mean, this is the challenging part because one, there had to be something else attached to this, not just the tagline. But we don't have that information. We're just the guy that's telling them new morning mix from Chex, breakfast to go. So it's going to have probably a hint of announcer in it, but try to make it as relaxed as possible and just kind of relax your way into it. You know.
One of the things that helped me try to do like just random scripts like this, try to picture the commercial in your mind. What would be going on in the commercial? Who is this person in the commercial? And you're coming in as an announcer, just telling people, hey, this is the right product and you need to use this. How would you do that if you were talking to your neighbor? And just picture that person, maybe a mom in the kitchen with her kids pouring cereal, having breakfast. And then you're saying, see, neighbor, this. Does that help?
okay. Okay. It's just that all these voice delays are like it was making me utterly confused. Okay. Okay, I'll just try it again. So I should be just conversational, right?
Yeah. Okay. You there, Raul?
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm still there. I am hearing Angel's voice. So yeah,
Oh, okay. It's the delay.
yeah, it's a really big delay. I mean, I'm hearing people say the same thing twice. Okay, okay, I'm gonna say anyway again. All right, Chex, new morning mix from Chex, breakfast to go. Did anyone hear that?
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Sounded better. It was much better. Maybe
Okay.
inflect up a little bit on the end on go
Yeah,
would be my only suggestion.
How did it feel to you? Was it relaxed?
um. Well, 1 minute, just a minute. Okay. Well, it felt less than what I had said before. I think that is my conversational level. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. To me, it sounded very conversational, and you did sound a lot more relaxed in it.
I mean, okay. It felt relaxed to me.
Yeah, I must say it did sound very good.
Yep.
Okay, should I do it again? Or,
Yeah, go for it again, just like Angel said.
okay. Chex, new morning mix from Chex, breakfast to go.
Nailed it!
Nice.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Raoul, can you show up here on Tuesday? I think we can hire you.
I would be honored, dear sir.
Really good. And so Steve doesn't lose his connection. You go ahead and go next, Steve.
All right, that's fine. This is my dreaded tagline. You know how well I do with them. Not. All right. I just lost my tagline. There we are. We've got so many comments in there, and we've got a small tagline. I keep having to look for it. Here we go. New morning mix pickup. New morning mix from Check. Breakfast to go.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Here's something I'm thinking of with this spot. All right. First, you're letting people know it's new, and then you're, of course, talking about the product and who it's from, and then you're going to breakfast to go. Now, try throwing an ellipses after new and after morning mix from Chex.
New. Okay. New. Morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go. Maybe a little more ellipses there.
No, that was
New.
good.
Okay.
Go
I
ahead,
would throw
Amy.
it actually after the new morning mix, after the mix. I mean, it just sounds more natural to me to do it there instead of after new.
New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
That was good.
Yeah, but come down on the new. Don't start off at the higher octave.
Yeah.
Okay. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, it didn't flow for me. I didn't just think. I mean, it start the first previous take was much better. I mean, in my opinion, of course.
Oh no, your opinion is welcomed. Let's see. New morning mix from Check. Well, see, yeah, for me, an ellipses after mix is just uh, it seems like it's too much of a pause. So let's see. New or new. I hate tags. Okay. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go. Oh.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Let's see. Well, all right. And I don't know. I got to thinking about taglines this week because I have one to throw into a radio spot. So I thought this would be good for
New morning.
everybody.
Yeah.
So,
New
um,
morning. Go ahead.
now, okay. Before you go into the spot, all right. What do you see in your mind? What are you seeing as the scene before you have this tagline
Well,
thrown in?
I'm seeing a family in the kitchen at the table eating their breakfast, and everyone's going different directions. You've got the daughter's going to school, the son's getting ready to school. Um, the wife and husband both have briefcases. They're preparing to leave, and you've got an announcer there in the corner, someplace in the house, um, announcing the benefits of checks and the breakfast to go. So you've got the family all coming together, getting ready to go different directions. So new morning mix from checks, breakfast to go. Anyhow, busy family heading out different directions, and announcer or moderator at the end there.
Actually, when I was giving this one, I would imagine how it would come out on the radio. Like I would usually, whenever I listen to the radio, you hear these quick ads that come and go. So I was focusing on making my voice in that direction. The content, well, it is interchangeable in my opinion, but it's pretty much there. What I had in my mind was a radio ad. So I went in that direction.
Yeah. Now, in a sense, I believe this was a TV ad for the
Okay.
simple fact that they were probably, like he was talking about, panning a camera around the breakfast table, and someone else is voicing the whole, family getting things together, or you have on-camera actors doing the whole having breakfast and pouring the cereal, or some kids pouring the cereal on Saturday morning, that sort of thing. And then they throw this tagline in at the end of the commercial after all the visual stuff goes away. And they just got a picture of a box of cereal there.
Okay.
So you have action, 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 action on screen, and then new morning mix from Chex, breakfast to go. Which the breakfast to go part, this gives you a clue in the script that in the scene, there's some kind of busyness going on and everybody's trying to get out the door. It's the whole kids getting ready for school, husband getting ready for work type of thing. And so you're filling in the blank, about the product right at the end of the spot.
I mean, the tone is like I have a question for the tone. Like, was it expected to be a very cheery, energetic one, or was it like informational yet very soothing?
I'd say it'd be informational, conversational, but yet upbeat.
Okay, that's a very subtle tone to pick up.
Yeah, it works that way. So with all that information there, Steve, go ahead and try it again.
Oh, Steve has left the house. Oh, no. Let's see. All right. I see. Yeah, I was practicing that. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go. Or there's one other we could do. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go. That's it, guys.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's good. I thought that a louder and more energetic thing would have been required, but I don't think in this case it is necessary. It's good.
Now,
I
on
liked
the
it.
new part for you, Steve, I'm thinking maybe just go with your signature tone.
All right.
Where you up talked on new, just new. Keep that one a little flat. Morning mix from Chex, breakfast to go. You can add some lilt to it, but
All right. I can do that. Let's try that. Just real. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
well, what did everybody think?
Yeah, I mean, the
I like
last,
that one.
it's good. It's good.
You got it.
Well, only took 10 times there, producer, but we did. Good lordy.
Yeah, it never comes out the first time.
I was telling my wife yesterday, I said sometimes you'll end up doing 30 takes, and of course sometimes they'll say, oh, we wanted that first one.
Yeah.
Or they just piece it together from the last 30.
Yeah, it's like, can you do this like in 3 different emotional ranges? We want it to be sad, happy, but sad.
Guys, let me throw this in quickly. We're talking about different approaches and the way people view this differently. I attended a workshop, and this is a meetup group, meets monthly, but we had 2 coaches there. Both are friends, and they're both from the Metroplex. And So the scripts were handed out to the group. It's a large group of 12. We all did our reads. So the moderator or the coach that was putting on the meetup, he did his evaluation. Of course, all the group had their chance to do a critique. And then after they were through, then he turned it over to the second coach in talent, and then he would put his thoughts in, critiques, and you'd reread. And I tell you what, you want a challenge? That was a challenge because you're watching two different approaches on that one script. So you're following direction, several directions, and that was a challenge, but it was enjoyable.
It's
And that
true.
can happen in real life. I mean, I've done sessions where there's been four. There's been two producers, a director, and the client in one.
Wow. Yeah.
They all have different ideas of how this is supposed to sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all looking for the same thing. Everyone's going for the same context, but just different approaches.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is when it all comes down is focusing on that director, because he's going to give you what they are telling him. You know, you just narrow in on the director.
Yeah, I've been doing all my voice acting like on my own supervision. I have never had any outside supervision, so I sometimes wonder, like, would I change my approach if I had an external supervisor, or is it best to keep trucking along using yourself as your own judgment? And I guess that will only happen when you take a step in that direction.
Well, I gotta
Sometimes
admit,
I sometimes wonder whether I am my best judge or not, but I don't know.
well, the whole thing about self-direction is not judging yourself or not judging the copy as well, but basically knowing what approach to take, you know, and definitely making sure that have heard from the people what they want, and then working that in there.
Mhm.
You know, like, okay, I have this guy, and he's let me take a lot of artistic liberty with what I've been doing with these spots, but he has a specific thing that he needs done. And that's where it's like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm going in the style that you want, so
Yeah.
find out the style. I need to make sure that this is going to be at the pacing you want, and I need to make sure this is going to have that specific sound that you want, in the delivery.
Okay.
Because I've done a lot of these spots that I've done for this guy, I've done as a character. And so, on the side of what he's wanting done now is, it leans into announcer, but yet it's conversational. And of course, here in America, we've had the ever stigmatized radio voice. It's going
Uh,
to not be that, you know. Come on down. We have free bumper stickers. That sort of thing. So, it's just one of those things where it's like just making sure that you know what the director wants, you know what the producer wants if you're self-directing, and going with that. Now, of course, you're adding yourself to it. You're putting your heart, your soul, and you into that spot, but
mhm.
and to some would be like, oh my God, that's complicated. But once you know where you're going with it, and you know how they want it done, after that, it gets easier.
Yeah. Good.
And if you're going with somebody who's going to be directing you after you've self-directed for a while, actually, I found out when someone else directed me, it was actually very much more comfortable.
Yeah, because you don't have the burden of self-judgment. Like, no, this wasn't right. No, that one was right. No, that mental battle you have inside your head when you evaluate yourself is gone. Someone else is fighting that battle for you.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, they're like, okay, they know what they want, And of course,
Yeah.
on a promo I did, it was 2 takes and I was done. You know.
Right.
After that, the producer just blended together how he wanted it. A piece from one take and a piece from another. I heard the promo and I'm like, okay, that second line was done from the first take, and the first line was done from the second take.
Okay, so yeah. Okay.
Because they'll do that.
That is just a miracle.
The miracle of editing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, guys, who's next?
I'll go. I'm back.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
That sounded like a radio ad to me. Nice.
It actually sounded too fast.
You know me, I always do too fast. Let's slow it down. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
Nailed it.
Yep.
What? That's it?
Yeah, it's so short.
You got the tagline there.
When you're hot, you're hot.
Quick, time to get off of here and go do some actual work now. I'm rolling.
Let's see, I've got that audition this afternoon. I'm going to apply this to that. No, I mean, it sounded natural and like you were extremely comfortable with it.
I'm a mom who's poured a lot of cereal.
Yeah, so you're in tune with the content.
That always helps.
Okay, I have to throw
And
this out here just because it was my turn. I have to throw this out here. Has anyone ever done this? When you pull down products from the shelf, like you're in the kitchen and you might go get a snack or you might be making breakfast, or do you actually make up commercials, or like am I the only crazy one who does that?
I do it in the grocery store out loud.
Oh no, I'm not that crazy. But I will do it in the kitchen if I pull something down and I'll be like, oh, Star-Kissed tuna, and my husband will walk in and go, is there a camera here I don't know about?
Yeah, I don't do it in a commercial kind of way, but if I read an interesting article or some kind of, I don't know, some video clip that I've seen, I tend to immediately practice. I mean, even if it's good or bad, I don't care. I just do it because it speaks to me and I feel like letting it out.
It makes for great practice, and see, my wife encourages that sort of behavior, so I just grab it and go with it.
Yeah.
And I always think, okay, and I do it at work too, because I'll be in the kitchen at the TV station, and I'll pull something out. I'll say, okay, see, how is this going? How would this work as a commercial? And of course, being that I live in a tourist town, because I'm just a few miles outside of Pigeon Forge, we get these brochures for different theaters and stuff, and I'm thinking, man, this is a good way to either practice a spot, or I'll create a custom demo and I'm going to send it to these guys if they don't have a commercial for themselves already, which most of them do, but, never hurts to try.
I find myself doing this with work orders, instructions, and other items like that at work. The first few lines, I'll just start reading aloud, and I have to catch it to stop, because there's other people around.
Well, I'm glad to know I'm not the only crazy one. My husband tells the people at work he's not ever sure who he's coming home to. So.
Well, we
Phoenix
give
and
new
Denver.
definition to crazy ones because I mean, after all, we stand in a padded room and talk to ourselves. So
And we
Yeah,
answer ourselves and everyone else.
yeah. Talking
yeah,
to yourself gives at least gives me such confidence. I mean, like this confidence carries over to the practice that I tend to do. I mean,
yeah.
like no one here to listen to you. You can go damn crazy, except when you raise the volume loud enough that you disturb the neighbors. But I go
Well,
crazy when I talk to myself. You know.
most of my characters that I've created, I've done spots with them in conversation with one another. You know, I've
Mhm.
got these guys that I created called Billy, Bob, and Ray, and they're they're a couple fellas from right down here in the south, and uh, uh, Ray likes to go over and say hi to Billy Bob every once in a while, and Billy Bob, he don't mind Ray coming over, but every once in a while he'd like to just take a nap and be left alone. You hear?
Yeah. I
I
mean,
want to. I want a YouTube web series on that one, man, Nathan. I'd watch that.
I mean, in India and Germany, I only hear these accents in popular culture, and I'm getting to hear them in actual conversation. So I'm like, oh, so this is how it sounds. So they have not at all misled me on the accent. Okay.
Oh, the blend of dialects and accents. And I mean, I grew up in Orlando, Florida. And see, my dad is from Kentucky. Mom's from upstate New York. So family get-togethers were like a crossover of the Beverly Hillbillies and Roseanne Barr.
Cool.
And
Wow.
and then of course my mom's dad is from Virginia. And I started learning dialects at an early age and really actually fell into listening to how people sound, in their different regional dialects. And my grandfather, he being from Virginia, he had this very nasally type dialect, and it was like up in his nose most of the time. I had two uncles that sounded just like him, and then of course on the Kentucky side, it was a little less nasally, but since they were Eastern Kentucky, it blends in a little bit with the Virginia style dialect. My dad, where he had lived in Florida for a good chunk of years, his accent kind of flattened out a little bit. But then mom, even though she's from upstate New York, most of the time she gets a little bit sounding like she's from Jersey, you know. But yeah, there's all these beautiful blends to play with.
Yeah, my accent situation is obvious from the start, but my native language, believe it or not, is English. I mean, I'm from India, true. I know a couple of other languages, but I've always spoken, read, and thought in English. You can thank the British for that.
Hmm.
But I, the thing that really propelled me into this voice thing is like I would hear these cartoons with superheroes, Batman, the animated series, and I'd see the interviews of their actors, and I always imagine, okay, these are such normal beings, and they are able to project such power into their characters, and then that kind of motivated me to get into and also made me take this hobby as a passion. I mean, yeah, maybe my accent is not American or very neutralish, but I just enjoy the thrill of it, and
It's
I that
possible. It
my
doesn't
accent isn't
matter
a
because in America
huge
now,
hindrance.
the commercials are actually going more ethnic. So your accent could land you tons of commercial work just because it's so natural. And if you can get your reads down and your cadence down with the different types of reads, I think you'll have a lot of work.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I hope so. I mean, my accent is pretty weird, to be honest, even for an Indian accent.
It doesn't sound weird at all.
Okay, I mean, it's not stereotypical Indian accent at least.
I mean, it's actually a very absolutely beautiful dialect, and very articulate as well, you know, and
Yeah, yeah, it comes with practice, I suppose.
Well, I mean, like I said, being from where I'm from, you know, there's this nice blend that I grew up with, and
Yeah, yeah.
I had to unsouthernize myself because for about 20 years I had put voice acting aside. I'd put anything, you know, like that aside. My precious wife actually helped me to get my eyes open to the potential that I had to get into this. And like you, Rahul, I've got this passion for it, you know. And but I realized as I was going along, people would say, "Well, Nathan, you need to work on your enunciation." And I had what I had done was I had let the regional dialect from where I was from and a lot of other things influence the way I speak. And so it's like, okay, when you say that word, well, like the word open. I had listened to this guy say open, and he would just open, and he would like shorten it. There'd be no enunciation on it.
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, I need to learn how to move my mouth all over again. And
Well, I think it was Steve I told a couple of weeks ago that, we all have our different little dialects that are natural dialects, water,
mm,
water, open.
yeah,
I mean, I wrote in the chat that, I mean, I was literally born in New Jersey, raised in the South in Alabama. I moved to Canada for 10 years, which is a whole different accent if you want to go there. And
Actually, I'm speaking as a completely ignorant person. But what is the difference between an American and a Canadian accent? Because I've heard both and I really can't tell. I mean,
well, let
sorry
me
for my
tell you,
ignorance.
you have to, for Canada, don't you know that a lot of the northern accents, they really do the OU,
Okay.
the vowels O and U, and
yeah,
then you get like northern United States. Well, like a youper will do like OU, but it's a little more pronounced, and that's like Upper Michigan, and Dakia would know that, you know.
Okay.
But then when you get down to the South, OU is very drawn out and very relaxed. And sometimes, like Nathan said, you can go from open to open.
Open, open.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's
Now,
damn
We
southern.
drop vowels altogether.
okay, yeah, completely. There's a lot of dropped vowels in the South.
I mean, for me as an Indian, I actually find it difficult to pick up the nuances like that. I mean, but
Yeah,
maybe it's because in American popular culture that we get to see, we really don't know which accent is what. For us, everything is American accent.
yeah.
I'm not sure like how much of an effect that plays even in that other side. Like I know I've seen certain casting advertisements that state an actual dialect. That I mean, I really don't know what's the scene or what is the situation about dialects in the casting.
Honestly, the more you do this,
Hmm.
the more you listen to people and how they talk, the more you will hear.
Yeah, that
It's
sounds good.
so true. It is so true. And of course, okay, look, I'm in broadcasting, so I hear everybody from the deep South to Europe. Um, when we're running news spots, everybody from all over the world. And it's so interesting the dialects and accents, and it's like, oh, that guy's from Liverpool. Oh, that guy's from London. Because there's like a complete variation. See, I used to think, well, like you were thinking, with the UK, you know, I'd watch, things like Monty Python's Flying Circus, which highly influenced, you know, uh, a lot of uh, my childhood and me as an adult with comedy. But it, I watch these different things and listen to the different, approaches. And of course, like watching series like Red Dwarf, you've got one character on there, and he drops so into that Liverpool thing, you know.
Yeah.
And and of course you've got the more posh style dialect that um doesn't drop vowels, and my mother taught me how to enunciate. Thank you very much. That sort of thing. Yeah, I went from the southern United States to somewhere else.
Fascinating.
Nathan, do the read.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask, as if I was asking a director. Just curious, what dialect, what region?
Let's try a UK accent. Your choice of UK accent.
No, morning mix from Czechs. Breakfast to go. You know what? I think that went to Australia.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking you sounded like
Yeah, I slid off my UK there and went to Australia without even trying. Wow. All right, let's go to the UK. No, morning mix. Oh, what am I? I know what I did. I blended my dialects.
Okay.
I was working on that southern U.S. No, morning mix from Czechs. Breakfast to go.
I still think that was more Liverpool and Australian. I think
Yeah,
you ended on Liverpool and started out in Australia.
I'm gonna try that more posh thing. No, morning mix from Czechs. Breakfast to go.
You sound sleepy in that one. Sorry. But yeah, it's pretty good for what it is. Let's hear your American version.
New morning mix from Czechs. Breakfast to go.
I felt like, oh, sorry, I felt like I needed to be in lingerie for that one. It was a little too sexy for Czechs.
Okay.
The soft
That
approach.
is one hot cereal.
New morning mix from Czechs. Breakfast to go.
I want to hear the ellipses in there, wherever you put it, between the new or the mix. I want to hear it because you're running it all together.
Okay. New morning mix from Czechs. Breakfast to go.
Yeah, now you are asleep again. No energy.
Hmm. New morning mix from Czechs. Breakfast to go.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one the best.
Yeah, I just went with me.
Yeah, the second half sounded much better.
That's your best character.
Let's see how Ray would do it. No, morning mix from Czechs. Breakfast to go.
Oh no, that's my favorite.
I like that one.
Got the check.
It's
I like that
hilarious.
one.
It's hilarious. It'll get my attention.
Now I have
Just put
another
some
character.
banjo music in the background and good to go.
Of course, I've got another character. She's a little more from the UK, and no, morning mix from Czechs, dearie. Breakfast to go.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a keeper too.
great.
Let's get Esmeralda, dearie.
Nice.
Oh, mind your manners and don't spill your tea, please.
What did the rest of you guys think of that?
I'm just
I
still
like
in awe. The ability to pull off that many accents in one instant of a time. I wish I could do that.
Accents and dialects are like my toys. I love to play with them.
How do you know whether you've implemented successfully an accent? Like,
Um,
I
well,
mean, especially with these subtleties in American and UK accents.
well, in a sense, it's because, well, the thing of it is I go for um uh that region that the person's from, the personality of the person. Well, it's like if I'm trying to do something like Ian McKellen, you he's got a particular way that he speaks, and he puts it in a place. There's a placement for each one of these accents.
Mhm. So you have to imagine yourself in the place that where you're doing the accent from.
Yeah, and I imagine the mouth placement, how that person carries themselves. You know, like okay, with the Australian thing, Australians have a tendency not to move their upper lip very much when they speak. And it's something I took note of. I was watching a show one day, and I like to watch how people use their mouth because I learn from that in how they articulate their words. And
Okay.
and Australians have a tendency to speak more out of their nose and out of their lower lip, and they don't move their upper lip very much. And so it just drops off into that. And hello, how you doing, mate? You know. And then, of course, here in the American South, there's a wide range of placements and vocal sounds that people make when they speak. You get closer to Virginia, you get into that nasal thing, and a lot of people from Virginia they'll speak from their nose and they'll talk like this, and you get a little more over toward Nashville, and you get some of these people, you got the country music singer, and he's all right in here, and then you get it varies from region to region, but how their sound, you know, um, that particular country music singer's got a more of a throaty placement when he speaks. It's like, how you doing? If you don't mind, I'd like to get the chicken on the menu today. You know, it just varies from place to place.
Yeah.
And what you do is you just play with it. It's like, okay, um, and watch how people speak. Like when you're watching popular culture, when you're watching certain television programs and stuff, watch how people speak, how they move their mouth, and you
Hmm.
can pick up a lot on what they're doing, and just you listen to their placement, and like even if you're listening to the radio, you can tell when that guy that's voicing is smiling. You know, I mean, you can literally, with practice and time, you can pick up on, okay, this guy's moving his hands. This guy's moving his entire body to do that scene.
Okay.
And,
Let yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
okay, yeah, Angel just mentioned, and it's true, we have three more people to read. Who wants to go next?
Oh, I will. Hello?
Go ahead, Dave.
Ah, okay. Wasn't sure if it was on or not here. Okay. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
Uh, could you repeat that? Because I think the mic kind of broke.
Alrighty. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
I think there's a problem with your mic.
It's the bandwidth thing, but um, well, like before, I didn't hear the ellipses as much between new and morning mix.
Alrighty. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
Hmm.
Maybe a little more energy.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
That I liked. But
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
breakfast to go, I think I would, instead of keeping the high energy on breakfast to go, I would drop it just a tad, just on that one part, just to
Okay.
differentiate between the two lines.
New morning pick up. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
That I loved.
That
Yeah,
sounded good.
that was nice.
All right.
You
Next.
got the job, mister. Just come in on Tuesday.
Okay.
So, who's next?
I believe Takia's next.
Okay. I think she's muted. But
You ready to go, Takia?
Did she step away?
AFK, probably. Just put a message there.
Hmm.
So, okay, can I try one take? And, just for the hell of it, I'm going to try an accent and you can all laugh at it, at least, until the time passes.
Go for it.
Okay. Chex, your morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
That was actually pretty good.
That was excellent. Nice.
Yeah, that was my American accent. I do not know which accent it is.
It had a little
I
bit of
just-
South and a little bit of Australia at the end, but it was good. It was really good.
It kind of almost sounded like Texas.
Oh,
I was about
okay,
to
I'll take
say.
that as a compliment.
I was about to say Texas.
Yeah, very
And Texas is
close.
a mix.
Okay. This
Texas
is
is a mix. You can be from anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try a UK accent now. And again, feel free to laugh. Chex, new morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
I actually thought that sounded more American,
Okay.
but I thought it was really good. I mean, if you can really tap into that, and as an Indian national voiceover artist, my gosh, you would hit the nail right on the mark. You would get so much work over there, it would be crazy.
Okay, I think thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I think she's back.
You're going to do well with this, Rahul. You really are. Just keep playing with those and have as much fun with it as you possibly can. And try that out when you're in the grocery store picking up your cereal.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. Brief sentences
Oh.
could also help.
It's a blast. And of course, people look at you like you're nuts, but it's a blast.
Yeah.
You should have seen the first time I tried out the baby cry that I learned from Pat Fraley. I'm standing in the grocery store and I'm just kind of playing with this thing, and I just kind of went, "Wah, oh, 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 wah." And I look up and this lady's staring down the aisle at me.
Yeah, I've been there. My mom would actually think whether I actually fell down from my chair and I got hurt that I'm making such weird noises.
Oh my God! I'm just like, "Hi." Funniest thing is when I've learned how to do this dog bark. So it's nice little Chihuahua thing going on there.
Okay. I think she's running out of time. Let her speak.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay, go ahead, Tiki.
Go ahead, man.
Okay. I'm going to try this 2 ways. Okay. New morning check. Oh, pick up. New morning check mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
You added a couple of words there. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
Oh, I think I changed the words around. New morning check. Pick up. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
Maybe if you stretch the words, it will sound better.
Stretch the word? What do you mean?
Emphasize the words, like from Chex or breakfast.
Pick a focal word. Pick a word that it's either going to be new in this one or Chex, in my opinion.
Okay.
And then emphasize that word and lay into the rest of it.
How would I do that exactly?
Okay, just focus on what your keyword is going to be. Is your keyword in this message, is your keyword going to be that it's new, or is it going to be that it's this product? And then just let the rest of it happen naturally from there. I think you tend to overthink scripts, and you need to just let it happen for you.
Okay. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
Yeah, better than last time.
Much better. Much better.
Very good.
I think what you can do is like, I mean, again, I don't want to offend or anything. There is a lot of thickness. Like I'm hearing as though you didn't drink a lot of water before coming, and your throat is like not flowing as well as it should. But it's good for what it is. I mean, maybe just use that voice, but try to adapt that script to your voice. That's what I would say.
Do it again. Do a natural read.
Yeah,
Okay.
use your natural voice.
New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go.
One more time. Do it again real quick.
Okay. New morning mix from Chex. Breakfast to go. Oops.
I like that one.
Yeah, this was good. This was good.
Yeah,
Yep.
Thanks.
that sounded way more relaxed.
Yeah. The earlier felt like it was like under pressure, but now you're relaxed and the words are now flowing nicely.
Yeah, you do tend to overthink, and I do it too. So that's how come I can recognize that in you. But you do overthink the scripts a lot. And I think if you just lay back, don't think about it, just do it. And do like 5 or 6 takes, like one right after another, you're going to hear yourself improve because you're going to stop thinking about what you're doing.
And I get the thinking too much almost made me a little lightheaded. Ugh.
Well, we don't want that to happen.
Oh no, no, no. Well, that's the whole thing is don't overthink it, you know. And just, well, like I've said before, relax your way into it, you know. Because when you've got that script, that's yours, you know. Don't think about anything else. I mean, take the direction you're supposed to take,
Yeah.
but you know, don't think about anything else but being in that moment.
And don't
Okay.
overanalyze what people say. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, take the direction, but
Mhm.
take it as the way you would interpret it. Don't try to overanalyze what they mean. You can only do what you think they mean. You know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? Just don't
Yeah.
try to overanalyze what's going on in their head. Just try to keep it in your head.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've run into that criticism many times. Actually, the first time I went for an Edge Studio evaluation, someone had said, and this is true, he said that my accent was nasal and German, a mix of nasal German. I do not know how he got the conclusion, but I try not to think too much about it. And what they may say is slow down or enunciate, but slow down and enunciate in your way. You don't have to worry about what others mean when they mean enunciate and slow down.
Well, that's true. I
True,
have.
true. It might not match. It may match. That may happen. But you should use your own judgment and practice. The
Yeah, I
more
have
you
a.
do, the more you to be clear to you.
Very true. I have a German friend that was actually accused of sounding like he was from India.
What?
Oh.
Seriously? Oh my God!
Wow.
They're like, "What country are you from? You sound like you're from India." It's like,
Oh, that made my day. I never knew.
"This guy's from Germany." I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Uh, this is surreal. Seriously.
So serious. Like,
I mean, if a German were to read this dialogue, it would be like, Schecks, Neu Morgen Mix von Schecks, Breakfast, Zugen.
Cool.
wow, that kicked butt. Yeah, just relax your way into it, and just remember, you're having fun with this.
Okay.
Yes,
You know.
that's the most important thing. If you're not having fun, then it's not going to
Yeah.
reflect in your voice. Basically.
I know that you want to get into animation and the characters and video games
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. And I've told you 1,000 times, I think, that anime
Yeah.
is your niche, man. But,
Cool.
you know, if you listen to even the way that they read in the cartoons, if you're listening to a lot of cartoons, if you're listening to a lot of video games, they're very, it's almost natural. You know, it's a very natural read. They're not overthinking. And as Michael has said so many times, especially in video games, there's a lot of ad-libbing. Well, you can't really ad-lib or improv unless you can do a natural read, you know, and that means you can't overthink it. You've just got to let happen what happens. And you
Okay.
sound so smooth and so relaxed, and you almost nail it every time when you don't overanalyze and overthink.
Hmm.
Yes, I wholly agree with Angel. I wholly agree with Angel. You should don't have a judgmental air in your when you're doing the voice. Just
Oh.
just pretend that you're in your own room. No one is there around you. This script is mine, and this voice recording is mine. I will do whatever the hell I want with it.
Mhm.
Record and go.
Okay.
That boost you get out of doing that, nothing like it.
Okay. I was thinking, well, my first read, I was trying to do, uh, a Lonnie Manila impersonation, but that kind of flew out the window. And, when I first started, I was like, uh-oh, I lost Lonnie. Where did she go? Oh no, she's gone. So I kind of lost it there.
Well, the big thing is, on doing this is be you. You
Mhm.
know, and I mean, working impressions is great,
Yeah.
but um, come from your heart and your soul. You
Mhm.
know, because okay, there's a little bit of you in everything that you're going to do when it comes to doing this voice acting,
Mhm.
and so put you into that place. You know, don't overthink it. Don't worry about what everybody else is thinking, and just be you. You know,
Okay. Um.
and that's where that more natural read comes from. You know,
Okay. Well. Well. Okay. When you did yours, Nathan, I think you did some characters. So I was trying to do the same thing as well. trying to bring Lonnie out, but that flew out the window. I don't know why, but it totally flew out the window.
It's fine to try out new things. Like if you feel an impersonation works, go for it. If you feel your natural voice works, go for it. But even if you do fail while doing it, you can learn from it. So it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I was a professional singer, when I would listen to coaches and things, they would tell me, stop trying to sound like Whitney Houston or stop trying to sound like this person. You need to sound like you because your particular voice is very unique. And you have a very unique voice naturally. There's not a voice like it. And I think that with you, your natural read comes across as we have to try to do our character reads. I have to try to sound like somebody else. Like if I want to talk like this, I have to actually think about it, and I have to actually figure out what part of my tongue I'm using and what part of my mouth I'm using. But with you, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is very natural, very laid back, because your natural voice is amazing.
But here's the thing. Well, I would want to do accents and whatnot, so yes.
Train your way up there. No, no one's stopping you. I mean, I know I must have sounded ridiculous to myself trying out several accents.
And I have no idea what accent that was, but yeah. So I would want to try to do an accent or character voice or something like that.
I think just to throw this out there, when you're looking for coach, because you had mentioned before that you were looking at maybe getting some coaching, there's two different kinds of coaches in this industry. Besides the different dialects, the characters, and all that kind of stuff, there's a vocal coach, which is what I am, which is just learning which part of your mouth to use, how to use your mouth, different parts of, your vocal cords and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Then there's the voice-over coach that's going to teach you the technique, that's going to teach you how to do the reads, how to listen to direction, and how to interpret that script. Two different things. And you might actually consider getting two different coaches. Because I think if you want to do characters and if you want to do accents and things like that, a vocal coach is going to really help you. I don't know. Anybody else can weigh in. That's just my 2 cents. 5 cents.
You are right. I think. Well, let's see. Well, okay, I've heard that most coaches won't work with people that have a lisp or a speech impediment like myself. So I'm trying to work around that, but I don't think that's going to
No, don't worry about it. Do you know the
too much
do you know?
because when I tried to ask if speech covers insurance or what have you, they said, well, yes, it does, but it has to be like a medical reason or something like that. So yeah, I'm probably going to have this for the rest of my life. So yeah.
You don't have to maintain like that. You know the voice of Darth Vader, James Earl Jones. When he was young, he was also a big stammerer and stutterer. And is the most deadliest villain voice in the history of culture. So if he can do that, I don't think you can. I think you can also do that.
And Takia, there are singers, actors, like he said, James Earl Jones, so many out there who've dealt with the speech impediment that we've never, or as a public, we've never known about. And there are coaches out there that will work with you. I have heard of several coaches that have worked with different speech impediments or problems, and they develop those voices. They work with those situations, and I know you want anime and animation, but then again, that might not be your niche. But there are people who will work with you. I wouldn't give up on that. And vocal coach or in the voiceovers, I mean, you may have to do a little more research and go a little further back. Maybe get out of look out of the VO area for a little bit. But uh, the coaching is out there for you. It's just going to take some research, and you may have to step out of VO just for a little bit to get started. But it'll lead to VO.
Hmm. Okay. I'll try to look into that. Thanks.
Yeah, don't worry too much about it, I would say. Just keep
Yeah.
trucking on. It's nice to have it in your head,
Because
but don't let it eat you. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
you're getting stronger every session. I can remember the
Absolutely.
first with you, and your vocal abilities are getting stronger every day.
Yeah,
I've heard you on
absolutely.
other sessions, so
Yeah.
And with that, to Takia, never give up. And I'm going to end the broadcast now, and everybody can hang out afterward. I have to go take care of some stuff if the snow has melted. So this has been good, and
Yeah,
thank
I
you
enjoyed
everyone
it.
for
My first ever.
whoever watched,
Super.
and so ends the broadcast.